Hi, this is Lindi Ortega, and you're at Popularity.
The album has been out for a while now. Looking back, are you still just as satisfied with it?
Yeah, I mean, it was the kind of record that I'd wanted to make. When I started recording it, I wanted it to be more of a rootsy kind of tribute to sort of the old school kind of country rockabilly music that I was listening to, and I believe that the producer did a really good job in capturing that. So, yeah, I mean, I'm still proud of the record, and yeah, I'm not sick of it or anything at this point.
Do you find it tough to know when you're on to something? Do you need feedback to be able to tell?
No, I mean, like, I listen to a lot of old school country records and a lot of roots and folk and rockabilly. So I kind of knew that it was along those lines when I was recording it and making it, and yeah, it was really my vision sort of from the beginning of what I wanted. So I wasn't really looking for validation and all that. Just kind of did what I was wanting to do all along, and I was just happy for an opportunity to do it.
Now, did you have a complete vision going in, or did you just kind of let the pieces fall where they may?
No, I had a pretty complete vision. I knew exactly how I wanted things to sound, and so when the studio guys came in, the session players came in to play, I kind of gave them a bit of a guidance, just telling them that I wanted it to sort of harken back to the days of old school country and rockabilly, and just have a little bit of that sort of old Sun Studios kind of feel to it. And they were really good at coming up with parts that echoed my sentiments. What
do you find the hardest part of the creative process?
I guess writing the songs. Sometimes it's some of them come out a little more easier than others, and some of them you kind of have to go back to a few times and rework. And it's the ones that you have to go back to and rework that can be a little bit difficult at times, maybe a little harder.
Was there a song that was the hardest to create?
I think maybe So Sad was the hardest to create, just because it was really tapping into some deep emotion for me, and I had to really open up and be vulnerable for that one. So that was probably the hardest one.
Was there one that was the easiest that just seemed to flow right away?
Dying of Another Broken Heart came out all in one go. I was just sitting in my living room with my guitar, and that one, like, I literally just started playing and writing as I was going along, and it just came out sort of as one song right away.
Working on tracks, are you ever surprised at how good they become? Are there any in particular that surprised you on this album?
I guess Little Red Boots a little bit, just because the guitar player that played on that, he decided to put sort of like a sitar kind of instrument on it. And when he first suggested it, I was kind of like, whoa, what are you talking about? Like, how's that going to work? But then when he started playing, it seemed absolutely perfect. So I guess that was the most surprising, was that he sort of, had that idea to put that instrument on it. And it wasn't something I would have initially suggested, but it worked out really great.
At this point, what do you value most about this whole experience in the music industry?
I guess just experience in itself, just the fact that I'm continually learning and growing, and every show that I do and every record that I make and every song that I write is all part and parcel to making me more experienced and more seasoned, and hopefully a better performer and a better songwriter.
What do you feel were the biggest obstacles that you had to overcome for this album that you maybe didn't expect?
Not really sure. I could say in music what biggest obstacles were. I'm not sure with this particular album. It seems like everything's been going pretty nicely where this album's concerned. But in music in general, there have been obstacles just in that sort of just getting used to really sort of putting yourself out there, and being completely vulnerable as sort of in interviews or just through music and through your performance, and not sort of holding back and just being really uninhibited, and learning how to do that. Maybe not so much of an obstacle, but just sort of a learning curve.
To you personally, what qualities did these songs share that made you choose them for the album?
Well, they're all just, a number of them have sort of a theme of loneliness and heartbreak, which is something that I had dealt with a lot leading up to this record. So I guess that could be a common running theme. There's a couple of songs that don't deal with that, which is like Elvis Presley and the Jimmy Dean song, which was basically just me challenging myself songwriting-wise to tackle other subjects and from different perspectives. But I guess the main running theme would be loneliness and heartbreak, and with a little bit of tongue-in-cheek, I guess, absurdity thrown in.
What did this album teach you about yourself as a songwriter?
I guess it just taught me that I'm not afraid to go to those dark places with songs like All My Friends and stuff. And it made me actually want to explore going there even more and continuing on to do that for the next record that I'm currently recording and will be done shortly. So it taught me to sort of open up and delve deep into the darkness, I guess.
Do you find it kind of hard to get out of the dark places that you sometimes have to go to write?
No. I find it's almost kind of like exercising a demon in a way when I write about it. It just kind of helps me get through it. I mean, as cliche as it sounds, songwriting being a therapeutic thing, I think for me it kind of is. So yeah, I don't think I dwell in it afterwards. I do kind of seem to pop out of it pretty quickly.
Can you describe your attraction to music?
There's many different. I guess there's an attraction to sort of music that I listen to that I'm inspired by, and then there's the attraction to being a performer and singing, which are completely different things. I think for performing wise, the stage seems to be the only place where I guess I feel like I have the most confidence, and I mean, outside of performing on stage, I don't really feel like the most confident person in the world, and it's kind of nice when you're up there to feel that bit of rush of confidence, and then also the connection to the audience, which I think is something magical that I enjoy when I'm performing, feeling that sort of, when you're singing about things that you've written about in your room, about loneliness or the dark things in life, and you see people are relating to that in a way. I think that's very gratifying. So that's what attracts me to the performance and songwriting aspect of it. And then just music in general, I play music all the time from when I get up to when I go to bed. It's constantly playing in my life, and I find it does for me, it helps me feel better when I'm feeling sad, and it makes me happy, and it's just kind of like the soundtrack to life, I guess, and I appreciate it and love it, and happy for the fact that it exists in the universe.
What can you tell us about your upcoming album? What can we expect?
The upcoming album goes a little bit more into deep Southern influence and slight blues. There's still a couple of songs that are that sort of sassy, tongue-in-cheek kind of country, old-school country kind of feel, but there's definitely more of an exploration of touching on the blues and the deep South.
With your growing success and popularity, have the demands and expectations that you place on yourself changed?
No. I mean, I've always wanted to put forth, myself with the most honesty that I can, and put on the best performances that I can, and raise the bar all the time for my shows and for my songwriting and all that. I always view myself as a constant student of music. So, and that's never. I don't think that's ever going to change. Regardless of if I'm a nobody or if I'm a somebody or whatever. I mean, I'm always going to hold that goal and for myself in terms of wanting to just, be the best that I can be and deliver the best that I can for the people that come to see me.